All right, so we're back at our large ground mount battery project, and what we need to do is configure the Franklin whole home aGates with a couple different components. So we have the backup expansion lugs that we're going to be adding in here. Obviously, I'm out here consulting with Slazik Electric. We're both certified professionals, so don't consider this a training video or anything, but we're going to kind of go over what we're installing and then install it. This is the main load relay. This allows the unit to do black start, and what that means is during a power outage, if they drain the batteries to zero, this relay would try and turn back on the solar equipment to recharge the batteries to about 10% and then re-turn on the backup equipment. If you don't have this installed in your equipment, it is an accessory. It does cost some money to add. It's not pre-built into it. I'm kind of disappointed with that with Franklin. I really think it should just be standard, but anyways. Yeah, we got to install that with those backup expansion lugs, which we need these because we're doing more than 2 batteries, right? We're doing 3 batteries per aGate for a total of 6 batteries. And then the last thing is the generator module that we're installing. So yeah, we're going to get this guy in there because we have a generator. We've already done 1 aGate and we're going to do this second one now. All right, so I thought I'd take an opportunity while the power got all shut down, while we were working on the Franklin aGate modules, getting all that configured. So they are starting to work on the 400 amp service. They shut down the power to the residents as you see what's going on. Slazik's team's doing a great job. They had already pre-configured a lot of this for the generator backup. Now they're kind of redoing some stuff now for this battery plus generator backup system. Lot of equipment, all this is getting taken down and being replaced, but it's going to look really, really nice once we're all done. It's just crazy to see a 400 amp Generac system right here. It just is awesome. I would love to see some of that for batteries in residential for sure. There's really no residentials that do 400. So as I previously discussed, they've already, you know, all the batteries are going right over here, perpendicular. They're not going to be parallel, just following a straight line. It's going to take up way too much space. So we designed them, or I should say I designed them to be perpendicular. Sorry, it's kind of windy out here. These are going to be for the sub panels, right? Because each Franklin there's 3 batteries per Franklin. They got to get combined. So there's going to be a sub panel here and a sub panel there. But basically the way these are trenched across, that's how each battery is going to go. There's going to be 2 batteries on a rack and then the 3-foot space and then 2 more batteries and then 2 more. And when we measured them out to go across, we were pretty much going to go straight across. And it was like, forget that. Let's just slot them in. Now, they've already done the trenching for the new PV lines. That's why the excavators out here. Here are the batteries out here. You got your 6 Franklin aPower 2s, 15 kilowatt hours of storage, a lot of power for this property. And then we have the 100 Jinko solar modules. These are 430 watts. We originally were planning on Q-cell 430s, the Qtron. But we're unable to source those due to just inventory constraints with the end of the year. Most of the ground mount existing rack is still here because we are reusing it. And then we're going to be extending the racking for the extra modules because the older system obviously had older panels. So you see the trench is coming along the front side. And then it goes over here where we've installed the 4 Tesla solar inverters. So Slazik Electric's team's done a really good job. These don't mount very well for a ground mount, which is kind of disappointing. So this is the Tesla solar inverter. It's been a while since I've shown off the inside of one of them. The front is obviously glass. These are really good products. They come with a 12.5-year warranty. And you can see you have your MPPT inputs over here. So you have 4 channels. And you can see that some of them can run in parallel. They say 2 and 4, 2 and 4. So these are for parallel connections if you're going to have a higher current. It usually has some jumper wires, and that's what it's showing here. It comes with a jumper wire kit and all together. It's important to note that these inverters are similar to what was used on the Powerwall Plus, and that's what this port is for. That's for connecting it to a Powerwall 2. The Powerwall Plus system was DC for the inverter, but then it was AC coupled with the battery with a little plug. All right, time for a progress update on how things are coming and what's going on overall. So as you can see, most of the equipment's been removed. They're leaving the pull box. They're going to be installing a new gutter box along the bottom section. And what they've done over here is they've ran the load connections direct because they were originally extended from the main service. So what they're doing, given this equipment's, there's still a lot of pieces to be installed, and you're going to see that today on this video. So we got obviously the Franklin aGates configured with all their accessories in there. So we have the backup lug expansion, we have the main load relay, and then we have the generator relay. But we still need to make all these connections over here, and then we can make the final grid connection in this panel. We've already installed 2 of the breakers, as you can see, that are new. These 2 bolt-on Siemens, each are 200 amps. So one is going to feed one aGate, and then another is going to feed a second aGate. And what they did, so they're not stressed too much on power for the homeowner's sake, is they've reconnected the load connections in the main panel. So the load is re-energized for the home, so they have power, while the team at Slazik Electric continues to install the rest of this equipment, which is going to take the rest of today. And then tomorrow, what they're going to do is make that final grid connection, so then the home is powered through the transfer switches. We're not going to be commissioning it, so it'll be in bypass mode temporarily, because we still have the batteries to install, we still have the solar array to install, which you'll be seeing that. Be sure to subscribe. But I thought I'd give you a nice little update. They only needed to shut off the power for about 2 or 3 hours, so it wasn't too bad. And instead of trying to rush on this project, because keep in mind the sun sets around 5 p.m. And obviously they need to take their lunch breaks and everything, and they started at 7. And they got everything ready, so the homeowner has internet again, the whole house has power. I think this was a really smart way of doing it, given the complexity of this project. Other projects, most residential homes, you're installing your transfer switch and moving your loads over all in one day. But given that you have twice the amount of work, you have a generator generation panel in here, you have 2 load panels, you have a lot of equipment to be installed just on this side, and obviously pulling the wire back and forth. So those are the extended load feeds that will be used again once all the equipment's put back in place. But yeah, it's been quite a bit of work, and I just thought I'd stop to kind of show you what's going on so far at this point. So like I said, the Franklins are all configured, and this will look really nice once it's all installed. So keep watching. We're going to have it all configured here shortly in next couple hours. And yeah, I hope you're enjoying some of the B-roll footage of this particular site and seeing how it progresses. Again, you can always reach out to me at reinnovations.org or Slazik Electric. He services the Ventura and LA County territory. He's a great electrician. He's Tesla certified. He's Franklin Whole Home battery certified. I'm certified with many different manufacturers, those 2 in particular. And it's always fun to work on projects like this. If you're an electrician that wants to get into the solar space and get more familiarized with battery equipment, maybe you've had customers saying, hey man, I would love to get a battery, but I only trust you to install it. And you just don't know all the ins and outs. Well, that's where having a consultant like myself that's been in the industry for over a decade, has worked on various battery projects for many years now, obtained certifications for many of them, if not all of them. I have a lot of field experience. I have a lot of office experience. So, if you get a quote from me, obviously I'm partnered with Slazik Electric. I can definitely get you pricing with them for a solar battery project. Or if you're not in their territory, I have my partnership with some other, nationwide and statewide partners. And I'm always looking for more partners to work with local electricians. So it's been quite the project. They've definitely had some things, but given that their experience is primarily in commercial and residential homes, like most of this stuff was a cakewalk for them. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. They got some gutter boxes, they had some pull boxes, they had some existing equipment that they were reusing from having the generator backup system that they had put in a couple of years previously. But Anton's team is, above all, really knocking this out. And he is Franklin Whole Home certified. He's Tesla certified. So whatever you're looking for, his team can definitely help you with that. And then I'm here to, help guide and, showcase his work as I can for you. So you can see what you could expect from getting a battery project. Mind you, this is an abnormal one. You don't really get to see a residential home with this much storage, 90 kilowatt hours, 43 kilowatts of DC power. But it's still really nice to see that, this organization is capable of something of this scale, because this isn't for your run-of-the-mill solar contractor by any means, given its full scope. So as you can see, it looks really clean, nice and level. They have a really nice unistrut system that they had previously put in and reused. They got the solar in over there where that wire pull's coming through. There's still a lot of electrical ties to come. So be sure to subscribe, like, and share this video. We'll have more updates as this project continues to progress. We'll be back out here when the batteries are getting installed and then when all the modules are getting mounted. So thanks for checking this one out and watching it through and seeing this this part of the project